What's going on, everybody?
You ready?
How are you?
I'm ready.
You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Can do, everybody. Hey, this is the super team we call the Beat Connection trio of super friends. Hey, what we do is discuss sample music, the connection, and all that good stuff, and just have a fun conversation about samples as a whole. So this episode, what we're going to do is, like I said, discuss sampling as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will preface, we are not experts. We are not a legal team. Lexa Gold, are you a lawyer in the sense of clearances and all that stuff?
No.
Okay, and I'm pointing to my left, yeah, right, because she's on the left side of me, and I got my man Azrael DiCaprio, aka Rick G's, my man, brother from another. Are you a legal expert in any of this?
I am absolutely not. I mean, I know what I know, but don't call me an expert about nothing.
Right. Okay, cool. So we've established that none of us are experts, and if y'all can tell by my face, I'm definitely not an expert in all of this. So look, what we're going to do is set this up as a formal dinner. So what we'll do is go through the formalities and talk the legal stuff, the boring stuff that none of us want to hear or care to hear, but the very important stuff, because nobody wants to get sued, right? So we're going to touch on that a little bit as far as the legalities, talk about clearances, talk about masters, publishing, and again, just the legal aspects as a whole. And then after we get through that sweet little part, the boring stuff, the small print, the very small print, we're going to go ahead, let our ties down, take off the dinner jacket, let the ladies throw their flip-flops on, because I know those heels hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then we're just going to go into a fun conversation about sampling and just the evolution and how it's used, and have some fun and cool questions as a whole. As you're going to see throughout this conversation, I'm going to defer to my super friends to my left and to my bottom, because again, they're two industry insiders in a sense, and two Grammy Award artists in my head, you know what I'm saying? And we'll defer to them a lot.
Where my Grammy at?
We're still working on it. It's coming though. Yeah, we just going to go ahead and get into it and have a fun conversation on sampling. So once again, we are the Beat Connection. Welcome to our dinner party, and let's begin. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna start it off like this, right? So I feel like sampling has always existed. It's always existed. You know what I'm saying? People probably been sampling for as long as anybody can remember.
Right.
But I feel like what's happened is the evolution of the legality and people being compensated is the part that's caught up to the sample. So basically, I'm gonna ask you two in your own words to describe and tell the people, what is a sample?
Okay, so if y'all don't mind me starting at all,
go for it.
You good? All right, so thank you for that introduction, definitely. I'm Alexa Gold. You can find me on Instagram at Alexa Gold Music, and I'm an artist, producer, singer, songwriter, etc. And for me, this is like it's a necessary conversation. I think for a lot of artists, for anyone that's listening, but definitely for the artists that will be tuning into this conversation, it's important to know the foundation of what you're getting into. And this was something that had to be like, I'm an artist at heart. So trust me, when I say, like, when I started, I didn't know anything about copyrights, knew nothing about publishing, sampling, masters, any part of the music business. Of course you're a beginner, so these are things that you have to learn, but also because you can be a hard artist at heart, it can sometimes be like difficult to really grasp these things. And so it took me a while to really learn what these things meant. So for me, I have two answers to that question. You said, what is sampling? You asked, what is sampling? To me personally, my personal answer is sampling is lineage. Sampling is a sonic lineage. And I say that because sampling, through what we know, usually takes from a pre-recorded, audio format, usually a sound recording. It usually takes from something that was already recorded, you know, and kind of create something new out of it. And then, like, depending on when these songs were created, let's say you have something that was created in the 60s, 70s, and then someone from the 90s hears that and takes, you know, samples that song. And then you have somebody now from like 2020 goes back to the song that was created in 1990 and samples that song. And then you have somebody in 2040 hear something in the early 2000s. And it just, to me, it's like seeing the double helix of like a DNA strand, you know, and like in musical form. And you just get to see like the foundation, the lineage of like,
it's almost like
songs.
It's almost like sonic ancestry.
Yeah, man.
Like, like you're watching art be passed down through time.
Absolutely. Right. So that's my personal kind of take on sampling. But I guess the formal definition of sampling, and I have it written down. I don't have everything memorized. But what I have is sampling is a piece of audio from the smallest single measurement of amplitude up to the largest file your computer can hold. So we're talking about most people, because, you know, obviously if you're a singer and maybe or an artist and you're not particularly fascinated by the production side of it or the technical side of music making, you may not understand, but music, you usually see it in waveforms. So if you ever look at like the stems or the tracks in a setup on like GarageBand or Logic or Reason, you know, whatever DAW or DAW you use, you know, digital audio workstation, whatever you use, you'll see like, okay, this is where my voice is, this is where the bass is, this is where the drum is, and what you see next to it are waveforms, and that's the sound. So what you're basically taking, and then obviously once you know, put all those things together and mix and master it down, then you have the master of that whole project. Right. But essentially that's what it is. So it's an audio file. Right. And these audio files can be used in other projects by, you know, other, you know, creators. So technically, you know, sampling is an audio file that is used in another or in conjunction with another audio file, and usually made into something new, I would say. Okay. Reed, what you got?
That's probably as clear cut as I can give it.
I bet I can dumb it down some more.
So, funny little side note. So, as I was preparing for this, I went down a rabbit hole. And that's why I said that before, in pre-production, I was saying, I'm going to take the artistic approach. Because the rabbit hole I went down took me down places I never even thought to go. Oh. Sampling, to Sean's point, has been around for forever. It's evolved over time. I can't tell you all the equipment, but if you look up the first sampled record that's considered a sampled record, it can be traced to, I feel like this singer's name was John Congos from South Africa. He had a song called He's Gonna Step on You. Oh. The sample, as simple as it was a tribal drum loop. He found a tribal drum loop and basically used it to create his work of art. And that song is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the first sampled song.
I'm like so documented sample. I'm so glad you found that. Yeah.
1971.
Wow.
Plot twist. Another song that was a little less well known. I feel like it was called, hold on, I think I wrote it down. It is called Burundi Black. And it's by a British artist named Mike Stephenson. I've listened to both of these records. Both of them are, it's almost instrumental. It almost gives you like Fela Kuti vibes. but this song came out around the same time. So there's an argument amongst the community that follows sampling about which song came first because they came out in the same year. But the John Congo's record, I guess, became popular. I think when I read up on this, it was like a top 10 record at the time. So two people had similar concepts about sampling African drums, and they came out at the exact same time. So I just thought that was an interesting little gem to share early on in this conversation.
Oh, okay. All right. And again, this is coming from two artists who've done their research and all that, but I'm not an artist, so let me go ahead and dumb it down for the people, right? So from my again, like we said, during our research and all that, and trying to figure out and find an answer on what exactly, I'm saying, the definition or the musical meaning of what sampling is, basically, and to kind of, and again, not to offend anybody, but to dumb it down. And I won't offend myself. I'll say just to dumb it down for myself, right? Basically, sampling in music. Sampling is the reuse of a portion or sound recording. Basically, a sample can be comprised of the rhythm, speech, sound, an entire bar, or whatever, and however, basically, in whatever essence that's already been created and being, like we said, reused and repurposed, and it can be layered or equalized, sped up, slowed down, pitched, looped, or otherwise kind of manipulated, and basically being reused and said. So basically, if I come up with an original sound and I put a rhythm to clapping my hands or whatever, and Alexa Gold is the producer, and she wanna do the track featuring Azrael DiCaprio, she has to, you know what I'm saying, in essence, she wants to use my sound because she feel like she can kind of evolve it, like we said before. She'll contact my people and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying, we love your sound, I want to repurpose it for my artist, blah, blah, blah. Can I do it? You know what I'm saying? I say either yay or nay, and boom, that's how a sample is basically, in essence. This is to dumb it down real quick, all the way created, which leads into our next kind of topic and segue of our conversation is now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it, because I can remember back in the day, as far as sampling was concerned, producers and all of that, and it really just consisted of going to the record store, digging through the vinyls,
digging,
you know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. Digging through the crates.
Big L, by the way.
And finding something, and you be like, oh, okay, I want to use that. Boom, let me take it, do what I want to do. But again, like I said before, earlier on, there was no real legality behind it. You know what I'm saying? And now it's done evolve, fast forward, boom, 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 to the year 2021 and the digital age. Now everything is digital, but in the same hand, just like sampling as a whole, finding samples and utilizing them has evolved, the legality of all of it has evolved as well. So now what I want to ask you to and touch on is, as far as, let's go into the conversation of clearances and permissions and things of that nature. So I'm gonna go ahead, and whoever want to raise their hand and go into the pot first, you know what I'm saying, by all means, have at it.